All right, here we are in the fast lane. I've been calling it the express lane until now, until my son pointed out to me and he said, Ta, you're not in the express lane, you have two passengers or more. It's like, right, I'm in the fast lane. So point being, I just got to focus on what's in front of me. I've got the camera positioned in such a way it looks like I'm looking at you, but I'm focused totally on the traffic in front of me. So that being said, road race, love it. Monday morning, love it. Got some gorgeous sun. Always enjoy light, just not in my eyes. Anyways, had a phenomenal experience. We had an earlier episode called "When It Rains, It Soars." And that was kind of based on an interesting experience that happened over the weekend and being caught in the rain and having to deal with that. So I had a similar but totally opposite experience. So once again, let me just kind of give you some context here. So basically on the Sabbath, that I walked to shul, to the synagogue. According to Jewish law, we do not take a car, do not drive a car, and we don't carry. So the good news is that this past weekend, this Saturday morning, it was just absolutely phenomenally outright gorgeous. It's a beautiful sunny day, bright blue skies, fluffy clouds, and I myself felt like I was walking on a cloud during the 20-minute walk that I had on the way to the synagogue. And so I started digging into it a little bit and thinking like, wow, why am I just feeling so amazing and grateful? Part of the walk, as I was walking down the street on some of the side roads, kind of had my eyes closed for a few moments, just soaking it in. You know, when you close your eyes and soak that sunshine and fresh air in, and a very light, cool breeze, even though it's officially the winter, it felt like the beginning of fall. It was just an amazing, amazing day. So on the one hand, I had the sun, blue skies, clouds, a little bit of warmth, but just that nip of cold makes you feel alive. So it was that kind of experience. And as I would close my eyes and breathe in the air and feeling grateful and digging, really letting that soak in. So I started thinking, it comes, what's going on? There's been a lot of, some of my coworkers have been asking me like, you're usually upbeat, but now you're like really just on another level. What is going on with you? What is your wife putting in your cereal in the morning? So I kind of laughed and said, no, it's really just back to basics. When you get into a fitness mode and you're exercising, and when you eat right, and when you're mentally and emotionally on point, obviously there's always room for improvement, but those are the basics. And when those are in harmony, when those are together, when you have that total living, and we're working towards being better, stronger, doing what matters, it just generates its own momentum. So that being said, I was kind of soaking it in, and that whole experience, that it's really a momentum, that it's an outcome of doing certain things. And so when I started thinking about outcomes, and again, doing what matters, for some reason it clicked into my mind, kind of, I think, a major fallacy, and hopefully this will ignite some serious conversation. Hopefully I won't get flamed for the following comment, but basically when it speaks in the American Constitution, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, really inspired me and said, pursuit of happiness, what a load of crock. That is exactly why there's so many depressed people today, is because of the pursuit of happiness. So what do I mean by that? And more importantly, what do I mean by that? I'm going to really zero in on a nugget, a saying from the masters, drinking from the waters of wisdom. But before I go there, let me give it a little bit more context and see if we can connect to this. So I'm thinking it through. When we make happiness the end all and be all, the pursuit of happiness, that is the fallacy. Happiness is not a end to itself, or not a means to an end. It's an outcome. When things are done the right way, happiness is the result. I think when we fall into the trap of trying to produce happiness, and that's why we chase certain instant gratifications, immediate, short-term things, we lose sight. We lose the trees through the forest, or the forest through the trees, and that becomes really the problem. When really what we should be focused on, if we do what matters, then happiness, that hum, that vitality that comes as a collective peace experience from doing all those right things, then happiness and that hum, that vitality is just the natural outcome. So I was really trying to think from, it's interesting that the masters and the waters of wisdom talk about the emphasis on joy, on happiness, but never uses the expression to pursue happiness. Rather, it's always just kind of a given. We have to be joyous. Now, how do we get into those joy states? That's maybe for a different episode. But it's just kind of a given, like it's default. Like no matter what the situation we're in, no matter what circumstance, no matter how challenging, the expectation is to be joyous. And a lot of it's rooted in the gratefulness. So where do we see this concept of pursuit? And this is where I locked into and thought this would be a great episode for today. So in the waters of wisdom, it says, seek peace and pursue peace. Now the problem is we're using the English language for a term that's called shalom. Shalom has many meanings. Many of you have heard of the term shalom. And again, it's usually translated as peace. But really, shalom on a more deeper level in semantic magic means the concept of shlemus, of being complete, of being whole. And really that's part of the vision behind and the structure and the basis behind total living. Is that, yeah, we live in aspects of our lives, but are we totally living? Do we really have that mindfulness, that fitness, that oneness in everything we do? Shlemus, shalom. So seek peace and pursue peace. Seek shalom and pursue shalom. We have to be in pursuit of this, creating this alignment, of creating this wholesomeness. And so that, by the way, what's the secret sauce to doing that? Is another segment, another nugget, Waters of Wisdom from the Masters, which you'll see featured on our site, which is the world stands on three things. It stands on Torah, Tefillah, and Gemilas Chasadim. It stands on guidance, connection, and acts of kindness. And when we focus on practically implementing, when we internalize guidance from the Masters and become immersed in that waters of wisdom, and then we start to connect to that and help and connect our lives to that, and more importantly, through acts of kindness, we actually implement that, then we're actively seeking peace and pursuing peace. We have a life of shlemus. We have a life of wholesomeness, a total living. So that was kind of some of the thinking that went into as I was walking in the early morning, feeling grateful for the beautiful sunshine, for the different components, kind of getting back to the basics of being, working on being better, stronger, doing what matters, being fit, mentally being stronger, emotionally, trying to do more of what matters. So it's a journey. It's not over yet. I haven't mastered it, and I hope you'll join me and share your journey that you're on. Because one thing that I take extreme comfort in is knowing that I'm not alone in this journey, and there's so many people like you, like me, that are out there that are on this journey. So let's share and strengthen each other and encourage others to be better, stronger, do what matters. Have an amazing day.